Hey, how's it going, guys? My name's Jordan Alumi, and I did my observation with a ministry called the 1040 Window Ministry. So the ministry was started by a missionary at my church named Steve Harrigan, and he is a missionary with an organization called World Partners. He used to be a missionary in Africa, and now he's in the United States in Fort Wayne. And that's because we have the largest Burmese population in the whole entire United States. So about close to 10% of our population here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, is Burmese, and they mostly live in the southeast side of Fort Wayne. In fact, southeast Fort Wayne kind of looks like a little Burma if you drive in certain neighborhoods. And so Steve started this ministry called the 1040 Window. The Lord opened up a door for them, and they got an apartment that at this apartment complex where all the Burmese, a lot of the Burmese population here in Fort Wayne, they live in these apartments. It's called Autumn Woods, and he was given an apartment, and so he's turned that into just a Burmese clinic for various things. They have various ministries that go on throughout the week. So I know on Wednesdays they do a ministry for Burmese women, and so they invite the Burmese women in and do citizenship classes to help them gain citizenship. They do. They'll help them network with other women in the local church and just to have friendships. They do fun things like cooking and teaching each other skills. So that's on Wednesdays. The one I went to was on Friday, and it's basically an after-school program for kids, and they do a lot of activities and educational type things. And then at the end of the lesson, they're very evangelistic in their approach, and so they sit all the kids together and they read a Bible story, which is it's surprising that there hasn't been any pushback with that because the Burmese, we have a mostly Burmese Muslim population here in Fort Wayne. I shouldn't say mostly, but there's a huge percentage that is Burmese Muslim, and so they have one more ministry that meets on Sundays, and it's basically a clinic for Burmese that have come in and they have bills that they can't pay, or there's a language barrier. They do English lessons. They do citizenship classes, and so I just saw a lot of ethical variables and methodologies that were being used when I was there and I was observing. One of the things is, the Burmese population is a very impoverished population here in Fort Wayne. Many of the Burmese refugees don't speak English and are struggling financially, and that's why they're in these apartment complexes. They're kind of the affordable, cheap apartments in Fort Wayne, and so one thing that the ministry is passionate about is equipping these people, giving them language skills, and helping them get jobs. And so they're very big on empowerment and walking with people and giving them the tools that they need. They're also big on building a relationship and connecting the Burmese with the rest of Fort Wayne. So not just keeping it a separate population, but building bridges between people. So my observation when I came in, I sat in the back of the class and I just saw a lot of the volunteers just really working with kids, helping them with their English, helping them with their math and various things they were bringing from school, and just helping them succeed where their parents, there's a language barrier there. And so many times with the kids, the second generation particularly, they're unable to bring their schoolwork to their parents because the kids know English, but the parents don't. And so there's kind of that dynamic. And so it's influenced my personal ethics because one of the biggest things is I've realized that, and before you can really evangelize to a population and minister to them, you have to help them with their needs. And this is a ministry that's very big on prioritizing needs, but also keeping the gospel center. And so they're very evangelistic focused as well. So that's kind of a brief summary of my observation.